the fact that I mute myself every time and I mess it up. I swear to God, StreamYard really needs to listen to my emails where I sit there and I go to them and I tell them, this is what we need as broadcasters, but they never do it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Welcome. It is Friday the 13th. I'm the Scene Snob Manhattan, and I'm back with an all-new movie review for you guys. It's a horror movie on this fine day, and if you're out by the woods, you're probably screwed because Jason's going to get you because it's just that time of year. But I am back. I'm here to talk about Stephen King, in a way, with the new remake from Blumhouse and Universal Pictures of Firestarter. I got to check it out today, and I got to admit, I have some things to say about it for sure. I want to preface this, the whole thing, right before we get started, as saying that I have seen the original a couple of times. As much as if you watch our show, Drew Barrymore is a national treasure in my eyes. I think she is truly a fantastic person and actress and everything else in between. I was not a huge fan of the original. I think I might have seen it too young the first time. I was pretty young when I first saw it, and I never really got the whole government experiment thing, stuff like that. Listen, I was a Cold War kid. I grew up in the Reagan era where the government could do no wrong. But anyway, I digress. Watching this when I was a kid, I just didn't fully understand it. The most I got from it was the government was after this young girl who had powers, pyrokinetic powers where she could light people on fire. So when I watched it again as a teenager, I think some of that residual effect came in, and I was like, it doesn't resonate with me. It just wasn't like, I guess maybe at that time I didn't really think it was that scary. I'd seen a lot scarier. And I was expecting to see this great movie everybody's built up. So I just wasn't a huge fan of it. And at times it felt a little clunky in its storytelling. I did wind up reading the book in my 20s. The book is a lot better than the original movie. And here's the weird part, and I'll get into it a little bit more. I don't know that the book is better than this version. And to kind of, get into that some more, I sat down to watch this. I didn't know what to expect. I was kind of expecting maybe just a complete remake of the original. And in some ways it's close to the book. In some ways it's completely different from both that and the original. I did like, overall, let me just give you an idea of the story. Okay, so there are two parents. There's Andy and the mother's name will lose. Andy and Vicky, who were college kids who agreed to be a part of an experiment that left them with telekinetic powers and powers of suggestion, things like that. They have psychic abilities. So they have it. They go on the run from the place that was experimenting on these college kids called the Shop, which, if you know Stephen King or you read Stephen King, the Shop is a pretty important deal there. Yeah, it's a government facility. So with that, they go on the run. They have a baby. They take her on the run, and they start to realize that she's developed pyrokinetic powers, and as she gets older, realizing she has a lot of Andy's powers as well in this version. In the book, too. The book displays some of that as well. But in this version, she has kind of some of his powers, like suggestion and telekinetic powers like that. So the big thing here is that they're on the run. The Shop is chasing after them. In this version, they hire an assassin who also was experimented on and has abilities, named John Rainbird. What I like about this is he was played by George C. Scott in the original. In this, John Rainbird is actually played by an actual Native American actor by the name of Michael Gray Eyes, who was probably my favorite character in the movie. He did a really good job in this, and I really enjoyed him. And there was a mysterious nature to Rainbird in this where there isn't in the original. And in the book, he's pretty interesting. He's also Cherokee in the book, and he was in Vietnam. And the reason the comparison's there is because they at least made him Native American again, rather than like George C. Scott being taken over the role. it plays into it and why they thought this government facility could take indigenous peoples and experiment on them. They were free to do that. And then eventually move on to college kids, things like that. So it played into Rainbird's character. They made him a much more sympathetic character in this. And I really liked that aspect of it. Because in the original, he plays friendly and she starts to trust him, but you don't throughout. You're like, no, this guy's a problem. But in this one, he's stone cold killer with powers, but there's something to him, like why he's doing it. Like you question things. He's got a mysterious background that kind of makes him sympathetic in a way too. So I really enjoyed that factor. I really like how he played it, where he wasn't, overly frightening, but he was also very frightening at the same time. So Zac Efron playing the father Andy to Charlie, who was played by Ryan Kiert Armstrong, newcomer relatively onto the scene and playing this role. She did a fantastic job for a young girl stepping into the role. Drew Barrymore, as we know, was a very established actor as a young child, and when she stepped in the role of Firestarter, that was a big deal. And for her to take over this role and Ryan take over this role and really run with it was a great job. So I really enjoyed that about her. Overall, I did really like this. Gloria Rubin played Captain Hollister this time around, which was played by Martin Sheen in the original movie. I liked her role. I liked how I kind of changed it up a little bit, and they're basically just trying to get control of her, which is what they were doing in the original. But some had the plan to kill her, to get her out of there. And they kind of, with this movie, they threw you for a curve if you know what was going on in the original movie and the book. You didn't know what to expect, because in both the original movie and the book, they do capture Andy and Charlie and they separate them for months, and it becomes like this whole really like huge problem, and it completely screws up the whole dynamic of what's happening. That always took me out. That was really clunky. One of the parts was really clunky, especially in the movie. But in this, they do wind up catching Andy, and Charlie is the one who decides to go back and save her father. So I really liked how they played this up. Now we're going to kind of get into some spoilers here. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, maybe hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, come back and check it out afterwards. But you have been warned. But so anyway, the use of powers in this movie is really well done. It's very frightening at times, and they really play it up, and I really like that. In the original, I was like, this just kind of feels like weird. Like I didn't really like how they use the powers, but in this, I really enjoyed it. And Ryan Armstrong's the way she acted with it, the way like it kind of takes her over, like the anger and everything else, and all of her emotions are kind of ripping her apart. And this power is something like she's afraid of, but she realizes she needs to rely on in a lot of ways. I really like that. I liked how she played it, and her character. This is probably my favorite version of Charlie, because there was a sequel to the original too that came out. I don't know. I want to say the early 2000s, maybe, or late 90s, something like that. It was called Firestarter Rekindled. Now, with how this ends, and I'm going to talk about it. So she goes to save her father. Hollister has him locked away. Her father, whereas in the original, tries to escape with her, uses his powers to escape. His powers are killing him the more and more he uses them. I like that aspect of it. Whereas she was born with the powers, so they're not going to kill her. She's there. It's just in her. So one of the big things with that is he tells her basically, like, we're not getting out of here. You got to kill me. You got to kill me so you can kill them all. You got to get them off your back. And she does. She does. There is no kind of like trusting Rainbird. There's no, like he's been like tricked, because he gets tricked in the end too, and they capture him and they throw him in a cell because he has the powers as well. They completely deceive him. And he knew it was coming. You could see it. He was like, I know what's happening here. I know it's going to happen. And I know you're going to screw me over, but he's going to do it anyway. So he, with all of that, she goes haywire, starts killing everybody in like truly horrific fashions that I really enjoyed about it, that I thought really played up the element of the story very well. And finally, Rainbird comes out and helps her escape. He kills the guards and everything, and then he kneels down because he killed her mother, and he's like, "I'm ready to take my punishment. Go ahead, kill me." And she's about to, and she looks at herself in the mirror, and she realizes, no, this isn't who I want to be. I don't want to just kill out of revenge or be angry. And she stops and she walks out. And he realizes there she made a choice. It's not, the power hasn't taken her over. She made a choice. She can move on with it. Maybe she's the best of all of us. And she just walks out and everything's burning around her as she walks out. I love it. I thought it was really good. And then he comes out and he carries her away. Rainbow carries her away. So I liked that ending. It leaves it open. And it leaves me actually wanting a sequel. Again, I know there was a sequel. It was all right. It wasn't great. I didn't mind it back in the day, but I'd really love to see a sequel of Charlie grown up with these powers and who she becomes. Not take the shop out of it, but what they did in the sequel with like the other kids and stuff like that. Like, I'd rather see her come back and like almost in some weird way become sort of a superhero in a way, and kind of do that. And I really thought that would be good. But overall, this movie was a lot. It was a lot in the way of like, it's depressing. You lose a lot of people that you care about characters wise. A lot of twists and turns. This young girl is, she's haunted and she's got a lot going on, and you care about her, but at the same time, you're frightened of her because of what she can do. So I have to say, this movie overall, I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. And my ranking for this is going to be 4 out of 5 Drew Barrymores. I had to do it. I love Drew. So 4 out of 5 Drew Barrymores. I really think people should check this out. I think out of all the versions of this story, this is the best for me that I've seen so far that I really liked and enjoyed. It's a good horror tale. There's a lot of good effects to it. The director who took over for this is Keith Thomas. He's only directed one other movie before, so I thought stepping into this role and doing a remake like that, which Blumhouse is really good for, finding new directors to kind of take over roles like this and horror roles, especially ones that are remakes. And I think they nailed it with this one. They did a good job. I really liked it. So, good job for him. Scott Teems wrote it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I think everybody should check it out. It's a good movie to go check out this weekend. If you have something to do, go to the theaters and support, or it is on Peacock. If you have that, you can check it out there as well. So let's just check out the comments real quick since we're live. AJ the Deadpool, what's going on, my friend? It was very enjoyable. Yes, I agree with you. It was an enjoyable little horror movie. I thought they did a good job, and that bodes well because one of my favorite stories is getting a remake soon, coming up this year, Salem's Lot. I cannot wait for that. I love the original. I love the sequel, which is just bonkers and completely different from the first. I love the remake they made with Rob Lowe for TV, and I'm really looking forward to see what they do with Salem's Lot coming out. So this was going to be, but Stephen King movies can be hit or miss. We all know that. So this was going to be like a big deal for me to see and see how they did with this, because I wasn't a huge fan of the original movie. And I turned out really liking this. So I'm very excited for Salem's Lot now. I'm a big fan of Blumhouse films, and they're taking classic films. I actually agree with you, man. Not actually, you're right. You have a great opinion there. And I just, a lot of people don't seem to agree with that. Some people completely, I think, get pissed about it and such, but I really like what they're doing with it. Nerd Box, what's going on, guys? I'm going back to watch the original before our review. I get that, so make sure to go check out Nerd Box's review as well when it comes out. Like you, I saw way back when, only one scene sticks out, and that's the thing. Like, it's really like the biggest scenes, that stick out. Dadpool says, I would love to see Blumhouse tackle a thinner remake. I would like to see, after seeing this, I'd like to see them attack a lot of them. And I'm glad you said thinner, because I think that would be a good one to do as well. But I'd really like to see quite a few. And here's the funny thing. So you have they tried with the Universal Monsters to do this dark universe, which I wish they never quit. I wish they really went for it and gave it a try. But they did quit it, and it was supposed to be this like Avengers-like connection of all the Universal Monsters and what's going on. You have, like Marvel and like DC, which gets it wrong as well, and like you have the Stephen King universe where they do connect things. They do tend to like, okay, in this movie, let's put this Easter egg here, this, that, and the other thing. But if you really got your stuff together, you couldn't connect this and make it an Avengers level. Could you imagine Charlie joining a team of Stephen King, like Danny Torrance, or anybody who has the shine or has some sort of abilities, teaming to maybe go up against Randall Flagg and the Men in Black or whoever else? So there's a lot to this that you can really do. And I just wish like we could get it together that where one company could come together and do it. And yes, I know the Gunslinger, Dark Towers, that whole saga, like that is not. I didn't mind that movie, but I didn't read the books up until that point. I did afterwards, and yeah, it is very different. And I get it. I get why people don't like it, but you could do the Dark Tower. You could do a variation of Dark Tower. You could take some of our fan favorite characters and do this. It could be a lot of fun. Radar, what's up, my bud? How you doing, buddy? Guys, just so you know what we have going on now, as you guys know, we have a very special episode tonight, and you can check it out after any time, and it'll also be on podcast platform. The Scene Snobs Podcast is all new tonight for Friday the 13th. We're doing a very special episode brought to you by Carolina Fear Fest, which we are official reps of, and they're sponsoring this for us. We're going to do a State of the Con at 7 to 7:30, and then we're dissecting from 7:30 to 9 the Friday the 13th franchise. So we get very excited. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have a lot of fun. We have some guests. We're going to have laughs, the whole 9 yards. So make sure you join in for that tonight. It's Eastern Standard Time at 7 p.m. Also, if you guys are interested, we have our Discord up. Our Discord is ready to go. If you go, the Snobs Nation, if you go over to the thescenesnobs.com, the link is up. The first 300 people to join are automatically in, and then it goes private, and then it's only open to Patreon members. That's it. So it's actually been building up pretty well. We're doing fun stuff with it. So make sure you join in, and let's have a good time. All right, everybody. Let me see the comments real quick. Let's go through 3 movies: a TV series with just the short stories, a gunslinger film, rinse and repeat equals Prince money. Yeah, I know. Can you imagine a current day Cujo movie? I could, and I would love to see it. Honestly, I think you could. I mean, I love the original Cujo. I think it's great, but you could do a great job with it. Thinner is long overdue. Yeah, let's get it done. Well, guys, I appreciate you watching my review and joining in with me. Make sure you guys join in tonight. It'd be great to talk to you guys. I am Mick Manhattan, Scene Snob. You can check me out on the Scene Snobs Podcast live every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. here on the YouTube channel. Please give this video and other videos you watch a like. Really helps us go a long way. And if you like the channel, please hit subscribe. We truly appreciate you. Follow us on all social media. We do different things all over, and we have a good time. Until next time, I'm Mick Manhattan, and you guys take care. And I missed the cue. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs Podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, mixed movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest Live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.